Let me ask you a question that will cut straight to the core of your existence. What is your greatest weakness? Is it fear, doubt, the need for approval, the craving for comfort? Or is it the emotional chains that bind you to mediocrity, to a life of quiet desperation? Emotions. They are the double-edged sword of humanity. For most, they are a prison, a labyrinth of fear, insecurity, and hesitation. They make you weak, they make you vulnerable, they make you predictable. But for the few who dare to master them, emotions become a weapon, a force so potent it can bend reality to its will. Think about it. How many times have you been paralyzed by fear? How many opportunities have you lost because you doubted yourself? How many battles have you surrendered because you couldn't control your anger, your sadness, or your desire? Emotions, when left unchecked, are the architects of your downfall. But here's the truth. Your emotions are not your enemies. They are your raw materials. The same fire that burns you can forge you into something unbreakable. The same pain that breaks you can sharpen you into a blade. The question is not whether you feel, it's whether you control, or you are controlled. The psychology of mental warfare. History is written by those who weaponize their minds. Warriors, leaders, and masterminds. They all share one trait. They turn their emotions into strength. Consider the samurai. They didn't fight with brute force alone. They fought with zanshin, a state of total awareness where fear and hesitation were replaced with calm, calculated precision. They didn't suppress their emotions. They channeled them into focus, into action, into power. Or take Napoleon Bonaparte. He didn't conquer Europe with armies alone. He conquered it with his mind. He understood the psychology of fear, the art of manipulation, and the power of cold rationality. He turned his ambition into a weapon, his doubt into strategy, and his setbacks into opportunities. These were not superhuman beings. They were men who understood one fundamental truth. The mind is the battlefield, and whoever controls their emotions controls the game. To become untouchable, you must first eliminate emotional weakness. That means detaching from fear. Fear is an illusion. Every fear you have is a prison built by your own mind. The first step to eliminating fear is exposure. The more you face what you fear, the less power it has over you. Train your mind to welcome discomfort. Destroying self-doubt. Weak men hesitate. They second-guess themselves. Confidence comes from certainty, and certainty is built through action. Stop seeking validation. The moment you stop caring about opinions, you become untouchable. Embracing pain as fuel. Pain is the greatest teacher. Instead of avoiding pain, use it. When you feel pain, remind yourself, this is making me stronger. Every betrayal, every failure, every loss, it's all sharpening your weapon. Once you eliminate emotional weakness, you must reprogram your mind for power. Pain? Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. When you feel pain, don't wallow in it. Study it, understand it. Pain is a teacher, and its lessons are brutal but invaluable. Self-doubt? That's just your mind's way of protecting you from failure. But failure is not the enemy. Regret is. So, when doubt whispers in your ear, silence it with action. Prove it wrong. The goal is not to feel nothing. The goal is to feel everything, and then use it. How to rewire your mind for power. Now let's talk about rewiring your mind. This is where the real work begins. First, emotional reframing. Every emotion you feel is a story you tell yourself. Change the story, and you change the emotion. Anger, reframe it as fuel. Fear, reframe it as excitement. Heartbreak, reframe it as liberation. Second, cold rationality. Emotions are data, not directives. When you feel something, ask yourself, what is this trying to tell me? Then decide how to act. Don't let your emotions decide for you. Third, subconscious reprogramming. Your subconscious mind is a supercomputer, but it's running on outdated software. Replace the old programs with new ones. Use affirmations, visualization, hypnosis, whatever it takes. This is not self-help. This is self-mastery. Turning pain into power. Let me tell you a story. There was once a man who lost everything. His fortune, his family, his freedom. He was thrown into a prison cell where he was tortured, beaten, and left to rot. But instead of breaking, he used his pain as fuel. He studied his captors. He learned their language. He memorized their tactics. And when he finally escaped, he used that knowledge to build an empire. That man was Genghis Khan. Your pain is not your enemy. It is your greatest ally. Every heartbreak, every failure, every betrayal, it's all fuel. Use it. Burn it. Let it propel you forward. The weak break under pain. The strong use it. Every great figure in history suffered, but they did not let pain define them. Instead, they harnessed it. Betrayed? Good. Now you know who to trust. Failed? Good. Now you know how to adapt. Heartbroken? Good. Now you know the price of weakness. Pain is power. Use it to fuel your hunger, your discipline, your drive. Once you master pain, you reach the final transformation, becoming untouchable. The ultimate goal is not just to control your emotions, it's to transcend them, to reach a state where no external force can break you, where no insult can touch you, where no failure can define you. This is the state of mental invincibility. It's not about being emotionless, it's about being untouchable. To get there, you must practice radical self-discipline. You must train your mind like a muscle. You must embrace discomfort. You must stare into the abyss and laugh. So I ask you, are you ready to become untouchable? So I ask you again, what is your greatest weakness? And more importantly, what are you going to do about it? The path to power is not for the faint of heart. It's for those who are willing to look into the darkness within themselves and say, I am not afraid. You have a choice. You can remain a slave to your emotions, or you can turn them into a weapon. You can live a life of mediocrity, or you can rise to greatness. The secret is out. The tools are in your hands. The question is, will you use them? This is your moment. This is your awakening. Now go and become unstoppable. The stage is yours. The battle is within. The weapon is your mind.